At 8:33, some great news for Boeing this morning. The aerospace giant is celebrating some higher earnings. King 5's Mimi Jung has a look now at the report from Satellite Control. Mimi?
Joyce, Boeing's profit is soaring. The company reporting a 52% increase in quarterly profit thanks to growth in commercial airplane deliveries. The company's net income rose to $1.65 billion or $2.24 a share, which is higher than what analysts had expected. Boeing's revenue for the second quarter was $22 billion, driven by a 7% increase in commercial plane deliveries. In fact, Boeing handed over 181 planes, which included a record 30 787 Dreamliners compared to just 16 in the same quarter last year. In March, Boeing also boosted its 737 production rate to 42 airplanes per month, delivering 8 more planes in the second quarter compared to the same time last year. Now, the one obvious negative piece of news is the increased costs related to the KC-46A tanker program because of additional work needed. Boeing reported that there was a $272 million after-tax charge on the Air Force tanker. CEO Jim McNerney says, quote, while challenges resolving engineering and systems installation issues on our tanker test aircraft are resulting in higher spending to maintain schedule, the issues are well understood, and we remain on path to begin flight testing fully provisioned tankers the first part of next year. Now, despite the positive earnings report, Boeing stock is trading lower at this hour, down almost $3 a share to $126. Live in the newsroom, Mimi Jung, King 5 News.
All right, Mimi, thank you. Well, a new report finds 3 weeks of heavy rain played a major role in triggering the Oso landslide. Scientists say the hillside that slid was already on a hair trigger for a big slide. And for the first time, this report says how often big slides happen, every 400 to 1,500 years. Experts say more needs to be done to warn people in slide-prone areas.
But I think it would really behoove us as a society to rethink our level of investment in trying to understand the geology of landslides and actually get more information together and processed in a way that homeowners and county governments and state governments can actually disseminate that to the people who really need to know about those kinds of hazards.
Another takeaway from the report, previous slides in the area made the hillside even more vulnerable to rain.
Searchers in the Oso area think they have found the final victim of that landslide. Officials say a search team found Chris Regelbrugge's body yesterday morning on the south side of Highway 530. That's about 100 yards away from where her husband's body was found back in March. 2 weeks ago, they found debris from the Regelbrugge home. The family is still waiting for final confirmation from the medical examiner before making an announcement. Well, the fire district chief, Travis Hott, said he has been 100% sure in his heart all of the landslide victims would be found.
We've come way too far not to find the last person. And it has nothing to do with luck and everything to do with some really, really good, dedicated professionals that have been out there day in and day out and not giving up and looking to find this last person.
Hotz says everyone involved should feel good that they helped bring closure to the families of every single person lost in the landslide.
Well, take 2 for legal marijuana in Oregon. It failed on the ballot 2 years ago, but supporters hope for a different outcome this time around. New Approach Oregon officially has enough valid signatures to put this measure on the general election ballot in November. The group says that it's confident voters will approve it, but knows it does have a lot of work to do.
Poll after poll demonstrates that a majority of Oregonians, like a majority of Americans, know that it's time to regulate, legalize, and tax marijuana like beer and wine. And really our goal is to make sure people know we're on the ballot and make sure our voters get out to vote and we have a path to victory.
Oregon voters rejected legal marijuana back in 2012. Possessing less than an ounce of marijuana in Oregon is considered a violation, but not a criminal offense. Well, a pine tree planted in memory of George Harrison is going to have to be replanted soon.
That's because the original tree was killed, ironically, by beetles. The tree planted in Los Angeles' Griffith Park in 2004 had grown to 10 feet tall. Harrison, who died in 2001, was an avid gardener and lived his final years in L.A. The city hopes to plant a new tree sometime this fall.
brace yourself for rain pretty much most of the day, right?
That's right. Yeah, this powerful storm system. It's kind of unusual for this time of year, especially to get this much rain. We're expecting about a ½ inch to maybe even an inch and a half of rain, and we could break the record rainfall amount for this day. The record rainfall amount for July 23rd is 0.54, and that was set back in 1949. So we could see some record rainfall amounts for today. So here is live Doppler radar, and you can see the showers pushing across western Washington. A lot of that lightning activity is now centered and focused more on the Cascade foothills. We saw a lot of lightning strikes earlier today, and now it's just kind of focused more on the Cascade foothills. But you can still see showers stretching from Kent, Renton, up to Mercer Island and Kirkland as well this morning up through Carnation. And you can see all of those lightning strikes right over the Cascade foothills over Darrington as well this morning. So let's show you the satellite view, and we are looking at a strong ridge of strong area of low pressure, but we are tracking, because of this system, some heavy rain possible. So a flash flood watch is in effect for the east slopes of the North Cascades because of heavy rain, and because of that, we could see some mud flows, debris flows, just because you only need about 10 minutes of heavy rain for flooding to start, and mud flows and debris flows out there in those areas affected by the wildfires. So we will be watching that closely for you. We could pick up about 1/10 to 6/10 of an inch of rain for the Carlton Complex fire area. Cascades, 2.5 inches of rain. And the fire weather forecast, 70 to 78. We're looking at showers and thunderstorms and locally heavy rain in that area. So for today, you can see by 10 a.m. there we go with the showers, and that continues all the way from 1 p.m. there. And we are looking at showers and thunderstorms continuing throughout the day. So here is the extended forecast, if we can get that. And we are looking at mid to upper 60s, showers decreasing on Thursday, and then we warm up as we head through the end of the week there. So we are looking at temperatures right around the low 80s to a mid 80s on Monday. Now let's go to Tracy for a look at traffic and those wet roadways. We have not seen that in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while, and that's why we're struggling pretty much in every direction heading in towards downtown Seattle. Okay, westbound 90 down to 1 lane from Bellevue Way to the start of the East Channel Bridge. Hashtag is I-90 to 1, and yes, the backups are there this morning. I think, like I said, we all became a little complacent where we thought, okay, well, the first 2 days were really fine and no problems. I'll just drive today. That's what we're running into. And then you throw rain into the mix and then a couple of little fender benders. And now that's why you have some pretty significant lineups on I-90 coming from the east side. So things are slow from just after Eastgate all the way down through that scene. Now it's made 520 a mess as well. We're looking at 25 minutes on I-90 from Issaquah to Seattle right now because we're averaging about 39 miles an hour. The bulk of the heavier traffic still lies between the construction zone and Eastgate, okay? So that's where the problem is. Express lanes are a little heavy getting into the downtown zone as well. But now, looking at 520, both directions are really struggling this morning. A live look at the dot cams will show you the high rise. And yes, traffic heading westbound right now is really tough. We're still slow on northbound 5 out of Tacoma around the Tacoma Mall. We have problems for drivers at 38th getting on to I-5. I've got a crash there that's blocking. Also problems for drivers at 518, so down around South Center this morning. This is another issue, okay? So I'm going to watch that. I'll let you know if anything changes here within the next, well, I'd say 10 minutes or so. Follow me on Twitter, King5TracyT. But from the north sound, you guys are still struggling, and there's no relief in sight. 90 minutes still from Everett to Seattle, 90 from Federal Way to Bellevue, and 25 minutes northbound on the Valley Freeway. Guys, this commute will continue probably into the 10 o'clock hour this morning.
Oh boy.
Whoa. Okay, Tracy, thank you. Well, the time is now 8:42, so making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, it's now a little cheaper. We'll explain.
Also, a new app is taking your iPhone camera to a new level. It can now be used as a thermal imaging camera, and it's the creation of a local company. We'll tell you how it works and how much it costs coming up.
And we're going to show you the new spray cake invention. It's going to serve a cake in 60 seconds.